Hey YouTube, let's make some mock-ups. We're going to make some mock-ups in Photoshop today. I know not all of my lovelies use um, Publisher or Word and PowerPoint to do the mock-ups, but for those people who are like me and use Photoshop, I'm going to show you how you can utilize the mock-ups to actually display your design online, that your customer has a preview of what your party favors may look like or your items that you're producing, and also, in case you've bought any mock-ups and you're just a little stumped, hopefully this video will help you out. So this is an image of the slumber party chip bag that I did, and I'm going to show you what I did, the steps I took to get from flat chip bag to mock-up. All right, great. So let me minimize this, and what you'll see here is my full chip bag. It's already designed, it's done. So what I like to do is I like to save it as a raw file. When I say raw, I mean everything still has layers included. And I just save it as a PSD. I'm not going to save it because it's already saved. And then I also save it as a PNG. And I just go File, Save As, PNG, and I save it. And so while that saves, you'll notice that my mockup is already open. To open this, you could just do File, Open, find it on your computer, and I just zoomed in too big. You could do File, Open, or what you can do is just find the file on your computer and double click it. So this is very simple. When you open the file, if you've purchased it from me or anywhere, you're going to see a few layers, and this one is going to have the background. So it depends on where you got it from, how it may look, but essentially you'll have a blank slate. So all you'll need to do is find the smart object, and usually it tells you a bit of direction, like double click here or insert label here. So you'll need to find the smart object. You'll see a little like disk, kind of like a floppy disk on the layer. Double click that. You'll get a new window opened up. I'm going to close this chip bag. Um, I'm going to close that out. You're going to get a new window that opens up. And when the window opens up, all you'll want to do is go File, Place Embedded, or you can drag and drop. Y'all know that's my favorite. I'm going to go here and get that file that I just had. I like to use the PNG instead of the raw file. I just feel like the PSD is a lot larger. So the PNG, when I bring it in, it just moves a little quicker for me. But you can always use the raw file if you like to do your mock-ups. It's going to flatten itself anyways. So I come and I do like this. I just drag it out. And what I'm doing is I'm grabbing my move tool. I'm clicking on the layer I want to move, and I just drag it out. And if you don't see these handlebars transform controls, make sure you hit enter to place anytime you move something. If you don't see these handlebars, go to your move tool and hit show transform controls in your toolbar. Now, again, I like to hold shift so I can keep my proportions. You see what happens when I don't press shift. And I just did escape to get back to where I was. But anytime you move something, when that X comes up, if you want to place it, hit enter. If you do not want to place it, hit escape. I'm going to drag it out a little bit on the sides. And this is basically just how you guys can get something to fit. You can also right click on the layer, create a clipping mask, and it will go in there. But I prefer the drag method. And I'm going to go File, Save. Once everything is placed and you got it how you like it, just hit File, Save, and watch this. Bam! There's your mock-up. Amazing. You can come in, change the background if you like. You can remove it. What I'm going to do is hide this, and I'm going to save this as a PNG. The reason I'm hiding the background is because if I were to leave the background on and save it, it would have a gray background. And I don't want that. I want it to have a white background so I can add both the images together. You'll see what I mean. Kit bag, slumber party. No background. We'll say no background just so I can show you what it looks like with the background and without. And I save that as a PNG. Saving, saving, saving. And I'm going to put the background back on. You can easily change the color just by double clicking that layer. You get a nice little different color background. Do File, Save As. I'm going to come in, I'm going to do the same thing. Slumber Party Chip Bag with the background. And so you guys will see why I like to take my backgrounds out. I am never a fan of an image with a background, just weird. So to get the back, all I do, you can double click here. It's going to take you right back to where you were, or you could just tab over. I'm just going to get the layer in my move tool and bring this one over to my right. Right click, duplicate layer, hit OK. And I'm going to grab that top layer and I'm going to bring it over. And I'm going to move this over just a bit so it's sort of even. Hit enter to place. Do File, Save. Let it update in the background. And there's the back of our bag. Lovely. If you feel that it's being cut off, what you can do, and I'm going to zoom out a bit, is click your layer, grab your shift key in your move tool, and just kind of squeeze it in there a bit. Most times if your bag is cut off just a little bit, your customers won't care, but if you really want them to see the full effect, go ahead and squeeze it in a little bit. Do File, Save again, because if you do not hit File, Save, it will not update. You'll be wondering why it hasn't changed. So you see that? Now it's a little different. So I'm going to go ahead and use this version. I'm going to save one with no background. I'm just going to say back with no background. Save this as a PNG. And when I save it as a PNG, it basically just makes it a flat image. And I'm going to save it with the background. I just chose a random color, so don't mind that pink, y'all. Alright, still saving. So I'm just going to go back to Save As. With background, Summer Party Chip Bag back. Do a PNG. Hit Save. Okay. And I'm going to open up a new file, new. Open up a new document. You can make it any size you want, honestly. Just make sure it has 300 resolution because that's what's key. So we're going to do with this default that it gave me as a clipboard. That's fine. And I'm going to go ahead and create it because the sizing on this can be anything. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and get those files that I just created. I'm going to drag and drop them in. And always hit enter when you do this. When you move or drag anything in, hit enter. So now you guys see what I was meaning about the background. This is why I like to bring it in with no background, because I don't want to have to mix things up and get them equal. So I'm going to delete this one out that has a background on it. And what I'm going to do is just kind of set this up. And this is how I will do my mock-up, y'all. Now you can bring in your own background, like say you want to do a wood backdrop or something. You can go wood background on Google. You know, maybe you have a background that you like to use in your shop or something like that. And just go ahead and bring it in. I'm just going to copy this one real quick. I think most people are using the whole gray things. Let's make this smaller. And let's bring it under. You see? Bam. Now you got your mock-up. You can add your watermark. You could do a variety of things. And that would be that. I'm also can make these bigger if I select them. So that wasn't the best background to choose, but you guys have an idea of how to use your mock-ups. Let me zoom in a bit more so you can see. And this is just a really small canvas. Let's increase the canvas size. Yeah, it's like 1 inch. Let's do 5 by 5. There we go. Now I'll be able to show you all a little better. And I'm just dragging this out. Keep everything consistent by holding shift. Make this a little smaller. And there's your mock-up, y'all. So hopefully that helps those people who are trying to figure out how to really use Photoshop for their added benefit, to give their customer that, you know, push they may need so that they can purchase from them, or just on figuring out how to display things. And I'm just going to actually just do a solid background real quick so that we can get the full effect here. That wood one that I chose was horrible. And I like to play a little bit, so let's go ahead and play around. I'm going to add a new layer in the background here. Let's get like some really light pink. Yeah, so there you go, guys. That's how you would do it. I hope this helps somebody. Comment, let me know if there's any questions you have, if I move too fast, if you need to see it done again. And I look forward to hearing from you guys. Thank you so much. Please like, subscribe, and share. Appreciate you. Have a good one.